अखंडमंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनं शलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। So we are back here for, you can take your flower if you want. Yeah. I plucked it off from her ear. It was like a speaker. So, we are here for Guru Purnima again. How Puran the moon is, we don't know, but we are here. Before I go into anything else, let me explain that this day is celebrated as Purnima in different denominations of spiritual and religious practices. First, it's celebrated as Vyasa Purnima, considering that Vyasa is considered to be the seat of all teachers. In fact, some people say in a very important manner, we are sitting on Vyaspeeth. Then, it also happens to be considered a day when Shiva himself assumed the role of a guru, of a teacher. Till then he was silent, like Dakshinamurti, not saying a word. You know why? They are often misunderstood. And then he decided to speak and teach. His first disciples were supposed to be the Saptarishis. Guru Purnima also happens to be the day celebrated by the Buddhists and the Jains. The Buddhists, because this was the day when the Buddha gave his first sermon. Where did he give his first sermon? In Sarnath. In Sarnath, with only 6 or 7 people listening. There was nobody else. There were no 2,000 people. Buddha gave his important sermon, which starts with a rather uncomfortable statement for most people. He said, desire is the root of all sorrow. This is where he started. So, in all ways, this is an important day. So, every year we are celebrating this. For me, it is special. I don't know if I have written in the autobiography or if I have not written in the autobiography, that my first Diksha into Kriya by Maheshwarnath Babaji happened on a Guru Purnima. So when they say the seat of Vyasa, I always think of Maheshwarnath sitting on the seat and telling me, काम करने से साधना आगे बढ़ता है, खाली क्रिया लेने से नहीं होता है. So, like we have many people here who have taken Kriya from me and practiced only on that day. Oh, you're here, I understood when I heard that laugh. So, the most important thing is, it is very difficult. I have lived with someone like that for years, some years, 3 years, then again, every now and then, even I found myself that it is very difficult to comprehend the Guru. It's very difficult. Because we like to always project, our images, our thoughts, and hope that he will fall in line. Seriously. It is very difficult to understand, because a spiritual teacher who is connected with the universe, if he is connected, may not be talking about myself. If a spiritual teacher is connected with the universe, his ways are strange and different, which you cannot understand. But people tend to project their own ideas about it. And they hope that the Guru will fall in line. Even so much so that people say, I am not being able to practice Kriya or meditation or even Guru Mantra for the last 6 months. Please help. Am I supposed to help? If you cannot do that much, then what the hell are you doing? You forgot to do the Kriya, you forgot to do your Gayatri, you forgot to do your meditation, but you didn't forget to check your bank balance every day. Now apps are available. So, do not judge the teacher through your colored glasses. Plus, remember that if you say something to me, if you think I am your Guru, and if you say something to me, I may say yes, knowing full well that you are telling lies. Not all. I'm saying. I might say, yeah, right. Because otherwise, how do you listen to what the person is going to say if you keep cutting him everywhere? So these are some things that you should understand. These are basic. Then there is this thing about people, suddenly they see me in the airport, or they suddenly see me somewhere in a restaurant. They come and, may I sit down? Yes, please sit down. If there is a seat, give me Sri Vidya. Is that a joke? Are we serious? Unfortunately, today, all these things have been brought down to this level because of internet. Internet is good, I understand. Technology is good, it helps. Because of that, all kinds of stories and things I one day asked somebody, why are you coming to me? Go and check on Google. $10,000 you can get Sri Vidya in 2 minutes. These are not such light things. Also remember, when a teacher seriously agrees with you that yes, you are very sincere. You wanted me to say good things, right? Yes, you are very sincere. Then every initiation into any practice given by the teacher holds the responsibility for all your actions. Please remember this. Normally I should not be falling sick, but I fall sick once in a while. Why? Because somebody is doing strange things after having said, I will do whatever you say. So, please remember these matters perfectly before you. So, the relationship is very dangerous. Don't get into this. Stay away. And I'm not here to say everything you're doing is correct. Wah, no wah-wahs. I like the little wah-wahs. Now, since many people have been asking for Kriya and we are not able to have Kriya for a long time as a special Kriya session except during the retreats. At the end of today's morning satsang, I'm going to give you the Hamsa practice for everybody who has come. Whether you practice it or whether you don't practice it, please, it is your karma, not mine. Hoping that you will do it regularly. And as far as I am concerned, some years more have been allotted to me for doing my work. So hopefully we will meet each other again. I go by that. I have no intention of staying around. I am very happy because there is no difference actually. You only move from one room to another. But there is work to be done, still left, because everybody is practicing regularly Kriya and everything. So there is a lot of work to be done. So I need to hang on for a little more time. Really, I am telling, seriously. From the Grahastha point of view, my duties have all been done. Children are settled. Wife is independent. What do I have? Nothing. But you are all there. This is the problem. So I need to carry on till things move a little bit. Now, the third is, do not interpret what I am saying according to your interpretations. Take it as it is. Having said that, I will now go to some of the things that happened to me when I was a disciple and I was a teacher. Problem today, nowadays, I find that there are more gurus than disciples. Everybody is a guru in some way. May not be spiritual, but somebody is doing Reiki, somebody is doing Kiki, somebody is doing pranic healing, somebody is catching energy from the stars. Everybody is a guru. Now in this scene, where is the student? Hard to find a student. If there is a student, then you can teach. Otherwise, how will you teach? And believe me, everybody knows. I usually meet people who start by saying, Babaji, actually I don't know anything. Then for 15 minutes you hear everything. So is it necessary to tell a lie in the beginning? I don't know anything. Why don't you say, I'm going to talk to you? Listen. So, with my master, I was a good friend. I was like his child. I was like his brother or sister. I was also his disciple. So in different relationships, he managed my life in different ways. Unfortunately today, look, please understand this. There was one Maheshwarnath and there was one Madhukar following him. There were no 2000 Madhukars. Now there is one against many odds. It's not easy. And this is because I was made the scapegoat or whatever you want to call it. Every time I think, when I shift rooms and go there, is there somewhere hanging around doing various things for various others. My first quarrel will be, why did you do this to me? Seriously. Here is a solitude-loving man, and here he is sitting on Guru Purnima instead of meditating somewhere quietly with so many people. Then, why? Because when I told Babaji, I don't want to do any of these things. He said, you have to do it, it's an order. I said, I just like to sit in front of you. I don't want to go anywhere. Because I got shocked when one day he suddenly said, oh, बहुत लोगों को सिखाना पड़ेगा. I said, oh my God. Why? What for? I said, and then he said, वापस जाना पड़ेगा. I said, कहाँ जाएंगे वापस बाबा जी? हम तो खुश हैं यहाँ पर. गंगा का पानी, ठंडी हवा, उस तरफ देखो तो हिमालय, छोटी सी कुटिया, कहाँ जाएंगे? Where will I go? So nice. He said, yeah, so you got caught with your selfishness of staying alone and enjoying. जाके सबको सिखाओ. And then he said, ऐसा समय आएगा कि हजारों लोग तुम्हारे पास आएंगे. Then I said, Baba, no. Please, मुझे छोड़ दीजिए. Please, you send somebody else, find somebody else. He said, somebody else? Is it easy to find somebody else? And when you came, you said you will do anything you want. Now you have changed your mind? अहंकार बढ़ गया क्या? I said, नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं. So what to do? So I said, all right. Then it started. In a small way, people started coming. I said, I knew it's all this man's work. I had no talents to do any such thing. I had no understanding of how to talk to people, nothing. It came and it went on and it is going on. And luckily, my good fate, because of my past karmas with him, that he gave me some extra energy to do that. Otherwise I would have died long ago. You can't carry, you have no idea. I don't know you understand how much load to carry. I would have gone. But that little strength he gave me when he had his Mahasamadhi, and he held my hand and gave me some energy, that keeps me in good stead. Which is why I am able to sit here and talk to you. Since I was once upon a time like you, I understand your problems. I'm not saying I don't understand my problems. I understand your problems. But please keep in mind that I have my own angle about it. I know when you work, people can't understand how you're working many times. Sometimes you need to be very close to somebody. You know why? Not for any gain. To be able to transfer a little bit on to somebody. Then when that is over, you need to move and move to something else. Then the people suffer because they think, oh, till now he was so nice, now he's not looking at me. It's nothing to do with me. It's to do with your growth, not to do with me. If I grow more, then I'll tear apart and get blasted off. I don't think I can do that. You have to grow. So any action on my part, please understand, is meant to change you, not me. It's nothing to do with me. Please understand this. So tomorrow, if I see you somewhere and I don't smile at you, don't think, oh, nothing like that. Because I see some of you are like little kids. They want to be always, attention is required. But how long can you keep giving lollipops? Once you should remove it and sit down and become by yourself. This is the aim of the teaching that Babaji has given. That you will stand on your own feet. You will depend on your own self, which is your own Atman, which is a part of the Supreme Paramatman. This is your support. I'm not asking you to fall at my feet or surrender to me. Human surrender is nonsense. Nobody surrenders. You accept your bank balance, you surrender. Nothing. I don't want, I'm just saying. There's nothing like that. So, when you say surrender, surrender to the divine. Also, we are not in the business of gathering disciples. No. And everybody is equal here. Please understand this. If I am close to somebody and doing some work, it is because there is work to be done, so I am close to somebody. Actually, you are all as dear to me as anybody else. We are all equal in that sense. Otherwise, to sit in this row, you'll have to pay $2,000 in the front row. Have you? So you understand. So this is our life that we need to figure out. We need to meditate, we need to practice. Now I'll tell you a few instances in my life which may get some lessons for you. The kind of person I was with and because of whom I'm sitting here today, pretending to be on Vyasa Pitha. Nobody has kept a Pitha anyway. So, many years ago, when I was a young boy and walking with my teacher Maheshwarnath, who was walking in front, as I was going along, we came to a village. It was already 2:33 and I hadn't had my food. I was not like Maheshwarnath because he hardly ate any food. He had a little bit here, there, and no timings, nothing. For me, if I didn't have lunch, are you sick? Are you okay? Are you? No, I thought something. $2,000. So, it was interesting, but because when Babaji walked, I also walked with him. And wherever we went, especially to important, I'm sorry I can't turn I wish I was an owl. So, wherever we went, especially to famous places like ashrams, and after Babaji went somewhere, they used to call me and ask me, Babaji ne shishya bana liya kya? Has he made you your disciple? Because they never heard any such thing before. Because many people would have wanted to become disciples. I used to say, aisa hi lag raha hai. I think so, because I didn't know what to say. I said, maybe, perhaps that is so. Anyway, so we were walking somewhere near Chamba, which is near Joshimath, little bit from there. Not far from Rudraprayag. Remember sleeping on a slab in Rudraprayag one night because there was no other place to lie down. Cold, of course, but if you get a slab, it is nice. I didn't know that there was another slab like this, horizontal. I just slept. Tired. Babaji said, meet me in Joshimath. Morning I woke up and turned, and there was the other slab on which I was leaning but hadn't seen. It said, Jim Corbett shot the man-eater of Rudraprayag. I was wondering in the night any other man-eater might have come. Anyway, so we were walking through Chamba and it was forest area. It was 3:30. Sorry. It was 3:30. And still I was wondering any ashram will come or something will happen where I can... Enough. It'll stand. Oh. Like level-headed like this. Okay. Just put that bag. I don't know. It must be Unniyappam inside. Anyway, so So, and I was thinking, too hungry, where will I get food? No ashram in sight, we are like a jungle-like place. Then I saw some farmland, little bit of hope. You can't ask Babaji. If you ask him, he say, don't you know? So I have to keep quiet. So, and then Babaji turned to me and said, हाँ भोजन मिल जाएगा. So, चलो. I said, okay. So we walked. I saw a Sardar on a tractor plowing the fields. Imagine in that place, they have gone and got some farmland. Why they go in Canada also they do so. He's there and he's plowing, himself sitting on the tractor, middle-aged man. He jumped down when he saw Babaji because some holy man is coming with matted hair. And behind him a disciple is following him. He jumped down and came and did pranams and said, greetings. Shashikal, he said. And he said, Babaji, ghar chaliye bhojan karenge. So, Babaji turned to me and said, chalo. So, we went. We walked quite a bit. The man left his tractor and came with us walking because Babaji, I told him, will not get into any vehicle. So he thought it was disrespectful, Finally we reached the house. Nice, they have made a beautiful house there. The whole family was there. From here he shouted, no cell phones then. From here he shouted, Mahatma aaye hain, jaldi aao. So a wife came from there with water and everything to wash the feet, and they welcomed us inside. Apparently they were accustomed to it. Sadhus go that way sometimes. Anyway, they took us inside to veranda and then they said, Babaji, bhojan. Babaji said, ye khayega bhojan. So, karega bhojan. So I had, after long 2 days, properly, nice rotis floating in ghee and some kada prasad, because inside the house they had a small room where they kept the granth, because there was no Gurudwara anywhere around. And I got that, everything yet happy. And to make me happy, Babaji also ate a little bit. And then he told me, you stay here. He knew my terrible habit, which is nothing to do with spiritual habits, that after a midday meal I take a nap. He never got me to get rid of that for some reason. So this is not a spiritually inherited thing. 3 generations in our family this is going on. So I had food and I said, I must take. Then Babaji said, okay, you meet me in Joshimath tomorrow. I said, Babaji, tomorrow? I said, I will come. No, raat ko raho, subah aao jao. I said, okay. So I stayed. We had a good time talking. They had a small room which they made for wandering sadhus who wanted to stay for the night. So I stayed. Then the grandmother of the family came. She was inside, she came and then she started talking to me. First question, क्या बाबाजी ने शिष्य बना लिया क्या तुम्हें? I said, ऐसा ही लगता है. Usual answer. Okay. Then she said, कितने साल से बाबाजी को जानते हो? I said, अभी तो ये 1.5 साल हुआ है. अच्छा. She said, तुम ये नहीं जानते हो कि ये बाबाजी जो है तुम्हारे गुरु. Then again she was, गुरु है ना? हाँ, गुरु है. हाँ. ये जब मैं 7 साल की थी तब भी आते थे यहाँ. हमारे पिताजी इनको बहुत आदर करते थे. तो ये यहाँ आते थे. So I said, ये बाबा जी आते थे कि नहीं यही बाबा जी आते थे. तो उनका क्या उम्र था तब? ऐसे ही थे भाई. So I said, no, I can't understand this, leave it alone. So I said, when I meet Babaji, I will ask him. So I slept in the night. I didn't sleep, of course. I slept a little bit and I meditated nicely. While I was meditating, I mentioned it because of that, this thought came to my mind. What is this woman talking about? She says when she was 7, she saw Babaji. He used to come. And then she says he looked just like this. So this became a big thought. It must happen to many of you, I'm sure. Something gets caught in your mind, you don't know how to sort it out. So I'm sitting down to do meditation, to Kriya, and this thought is occurring. What is this? How is this possible? I keep reminding myself, I will ask Babaji. Anyway, got up early morning, eager to see him again. 5 o'clock I got up, brushed my teeth. They gave me a little bit of milk. Luckily little bit, otherwise their cups were all this big. And then I went and then I reached Joshimath by noon. And then I saw Babaji sitting there, Joshimath, just outside the Shankara Mat. So he said, हाँ, तो क्या हुआ? Said, Babaji, don't. आपको तो सब जानते ही क्या हुआ. Then I said, I have to find out from you. See, this lady, she says that when she was 7 years old, you used to go to him. Was it you or somebody else? He said, मैं ही था. I said, ये कैसे हो सकता है? He said, तुम नहीं समझोगे, छोड़ दो उसको. तुम नहीं समझोगे और भी 10 साल में ऐसे ही रहूँगा, फिर चला जाऊँगा, छोड़ दूँगा. What I am trying to say is that living with this man for some time, in the beginning I used to ask questions, I used to get worried and think about what is happening. After living for about 2 years with this man, I realized that even before I thought about something, he had already thought about it. So I stopped. That was my surrender. I was talking about surrender. I said there is no point in telling him anything, asking him anything. He is following my ways. He knows what I am doing. Even before a thought occurs in my mind, it has already occurred. Recently I read somebody, a neurologist, saying that before the thought consciously comes into our mind, conscious mind, it's already there in the brain, like a flash, a few seconds before it happens. It looked as if Babaji was my subconscious. Before I thought, he thought. So when I saw this, I said there is no point in making any barrier between him and me now. It's over. After that, what happened? Nothing happened. Somebody wrote a book called Nothing Ever Happened. It happened like that. Because I did nothing. I found out that my biggest problem was me. I was doing. I was working. That fellow went off. Then who remained? Only Babaji remained. If Babaji remains, then what happens? Only his mind remains. If his mind remains, it's a free mind. I don't have to do anything about it. And this is how I discovered this treasure, which I am trying to share. So it doesn't mean that because I said this, you take Babaji's picture and put it there and say, I surrender. No. You can do that. It's nice. But the understanding that if you have a teacher, spiritual teacher, if you have seriously considered it, that person's soul is linked to your soul. And therefore, more than the words, it's when the frequency becomes the same that things are passed on silently. Not so much the words. When Patanjali says, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha, what he is saying is that the vrittis of the chitta are to be niroded. which means that the mind, which is constantly in action, in movement, needs to be calmed and quietened down so that there is no conflict in the mind. There is no confusion created by two. When this happens between you and between me, there is no need to teach anything after that. Then what is in me becomes what is in you. It's a fact. But for that, the vehicle has to be prepared. And the preparation is regular practice. Follow the principles which are taught to you. Don't get side-laid by the Vibhuti Pada. You know what? In the Yoga Sutras, there are 4 sections. The first section, can I say this? Because it is Guru Purnima. Don't say it is not a time for yoga courses. What is the first chapter of Samadhi? Which means, don't hurry into the practice. Understand the blueprint. Where are you supposed to go? What are you supposed... Nowadays Samadhi, people think means dead. Put a stone, Samadhi. Not that Samadhi. Samadhi, it means when the thought processes have become equalized and completely silenced. This is Samadhi. Then a human being is no longer limited to his conditioned mind. When this happens, so this is what you're aiming at. Are we aiming at something else? Considering the 200 and odd emails I get every day, I think we are aiming some other things. Promotions. I don't have a child. We are in India, if you are a guru, you have to provide all these things. We have no time for other things. Spiritual. You already been promoted, you are in a company, now you want to shift the company. That also the Guru has to have. This is not such a good company, so I need to move. Please save me from my staff, they are all persecuting me. Is this the teacher's work? Now, so what was I saying? This brain is completely gone. So that reminds me, my mind doesn't work linear, it goes this way. Young people, it's called ADS, Attention Deficiency Syndrome. It's like one mother came to me and said, my son has attention deficiency. I said, you have come to the wrong person. So, anyway. So, what was that? See, several conclusions from one sentence. Yeah? No, sir. I was saying that reminds me of something. Didn't I say? Yes. So, many years ago, there was this man who looked like a madman. Please don't go and worship all madmen, thinking that nowadays that has become a fashion. Somebody is mentally deficient, he is made a Paramahamsa, Avaduta, everybody is worshipping. It's not like that. Anyway. So there was this man called Ram Surat Kumar. He only behaved like a madman, he was not mad. He was fully sane, perfectly all right. He used to talk good crystal clear English also. Though his language was Hindi. So, in my wandering days, one day I went to see him. He was still, they hadn't built the prison and put him inside. He was staying under the ratha of the temple, just under the rath. So I went and there were lots of people sitting, all young boys going to exams and all used to come. He'll say Ram, 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 Ram. Sri Ram, Jai Ram. So we're a couple of people sitting there. Actually, he is the first person who called me M. Honestly. He said, Madanapalle. I said, yes, Baba, Madanapalle. M. He said, Madanapalle. Okay. So we were sitting there. All this was going on. Then he told me everybody is saying that I shouldn't smoke. He had a cigarette in his hand. And they are saying my hand is shivering. That day one doctor came. Your hand is shivering. Don't smoke. Then is my hand shivering? I said no. So I am allowed to smoke. He said okay. Then he laughed as usual. That belly laughter. There are only two kinds of people who have a belly laughter. One is a complete nut or a Paramahamsa, yogi. It comes from inside rolling, like naturally. So there was one gentleman standing, worried about the sun. Thank God there is no rain. There was a guy standing outside in the queue to see him. And there was a guy standing behind him holding an umbrella for him. 2-3 times he looked that side. I felt he didn't like this. Somebody is holding an umbrella for somebody else. Some rich industrialist somebody. And then finally his turn came. So he came and that umbrella, he said, keep that umbrella down. Come. So what do you want? What do you want to ask me? He said, I have nothing to ask you. I want peace of mind. Guy was pretending that he is a Vedantic guy who didn't want anything except. Actually, I think he had many problems. Others had little problems. They were honest. This guy, I want only peace of mind. He started laughing loudly. And in the process of laughter, he gave me one shot on my shoulder. It took me 3 days for the right shoulder to be. He hit me and he laughed and he said, this guy, he wants peace of mind. My mind has gone to pieces. He wants a piece of my mind. So when the mind's pieces have all been swept and gathered and put into the waste paper bucket, you're free, samadhi. Till then, samadhi is not possible. So, what I was saying was, the first part is samadhi pada. The second part is sadhana. Sadhana pada comes after samadhi. So, it takes a long time to understand where you are going, what you are doing, before you suddenly jump into practice. It is dangerous to jump into a practice without understanding where you are going. Now, I know it. I get several emails. People saying that we practiced this, we went there, we practiced that, now something is happening to us, please help us. I usually say, go back to the person who taught you and ask for help. He is unreachable. So what am I supposed to do? So if somebody is unreachable, the rubbish is dumped into my waste paper basket. Why? The root cause is that you started practicing without knowing where you are going, what you are doing, what is to be touched. Then you don't know what to do. Practice may be okay. So, and then after you practice, after you know the samadhi pada, and then you do your sadhana, then there is one thing before Kaivalya. Kaivalya is total freedom. Kaivalya is you sit in a crowd and you're alone. It comes from the Sanskrit root Kevala, only one. There is a complete understanding that there is only one, there are no two. From Vedantic point of view, it is only one. from the yogic point of view and Sankhya point of view, it's Kaivalya, Kevala, just one Purusha, whatever you want to call it. So, before that comes the Vibhuti-pada. Now what happens? Because of your one-pointed attention and practice and so on, because your mind has been purified and is not losing energy, it achieves tremendous strength and capacity. So it can manifest certain capacities which are not under your control or which normally is not possible for a human being to exhibit. These are called the vibhutis. Vibhuti doesn't mean ashes. Vibhuti is that capacity developed by a person who has gone through yoga sadhana. It is the interim milestone between practice and Kaivalya, in the middle. But one should be careful that one doesn't fall on the way with this Vibhuti-pada. Very dangerous. You are traveling from here to Banaras by train. On the way, you see a station. There's a beautiful shop there in the station. You say, oh, there's still time, so you get down. When you're exploring the station, you're so fascinated by the things there, the train goes off. You will reach Banaras only by the next train. That much delay has happened to you in your journey to the spiritual. So Vibhuti-pada is something what needs to be very, very careful about. So, it's almost 12 o'clock. No, 11:40. Now there are many people who haven't taken Kriya and many who have taken Kriya but not practiced, and many who have taken Kriya and practiced. There's a whole mixed crowd here. Now some expectancy may be there in people who have come, who have never come before, who have not taken Kriya. I'm sure there will be some. They want to, when you go to a place, in the temples, after you do your darshan, they give you prasad. Why? Because something to eat, practice, something solid that you get, concrete. So, I am going to tell you about the simple Kriya practice. In fact, only by doing this also people have advanced in this spirit, without going into the entire complicated Kriya of Guru Mantra, Navi Kriya, Vishuddhi Kriya, Mahamudra, and Chakra Dharana, and so on and so forth. Simple Kriya, it's called a Hamsa Kriya. If the person is ready, Hamsa is enough. If the person is not ready, the Hamsa will take you to the readiness. And then you proceed from there. It was the same technique which the well-known Shyamacharan Lahiri taught people who went to him for Kriya for the first time, when he decided that they will get Kriya. I don't think he taught 2,000 people Hamsa ever. He was very reluctant, but times have changed, I think, and more people need to know and move forward, which is why I put Chakra Dharana into internet. So, Hamsa, I'll go on saying till 12, then I'll say we'll do it some other time. There was a very a professor in the Banaras Hindu University, BHU. You know that during the last many years of his life, Shyamacharan Lahiri used to stay in Banaras. Hari Mahashaya used to stay in Banaras. Mahashaya means master in Bengali. So people used to go to him, and sometimes he gave Kriya, sometimes he didn't. Sometimes he said, go and come back. Then I can't say that, right? I'll be waylaid. So, a professor from the BHU went to him one day and wanted to take Kriya. He said, I have studied all Vedanta, totally. Mahashaya said, "Theek ache, okay. And I have studied Tantra, okay. I have studied all yogic practices, okay. But I want Kriya from you." Mahashaya said, okay, I will give you. And he gave him the Hamsa. Said, do this. Enough, more than enough. 1 month passed. Every Sunday, because Sunday is the time when there's no college, he used to come and sit in the parlor. Please teach me the next technique. I have taken Hamsa, I have practiced it well. Give me the next technique. Mahashaya didn't say anything, a word. He used to speak. It went on for many days, many weeks it happened. One day, there was a postman whose name was Brinda. Brinda, the postman, came to deliver letters. Brinda, the postman, who later on became well known as Brinda Bhagat, had taken Hamsa from Mahashaya at the same time as the professor. So the professor also sat down and he was asking the same question, next technique. So Mahashaya saw the postman. He said, hey Brinda, come here. Ashwin, come. Sit down. He said, I can't sit. He said, why? You know, after you gave me that Hamsa, been practicing now for 6 weeks. My neighbors have begun to suspect that I am an alcoholic. I can't walk steadily. When I do and get up, everything is one. There is nothing to be seen. I told my wife the other day, you and I are one. She thought I was gone mad. And so much so that I don't know how to post the letters now. I can't find the address. When I go to somebody's address, he says, what is this? There is only one. So, please don't give me any more techniques. I am very happy with this. Let me continue. Even now you seeing me, I am fully intoxicated. I am talking to you, but I am fully. So Mahashaya laughed. He said, okay, go. Then he told the professor, you want one more technique? So people have this habit of increasing techniques. It's like going to Walmart. One thing from this shelf, one thing from this. And then you will sell one medicine which is more powerful to improve your digestion. And finally, I don't know. Anyway, so this Hamsa we can all learn, we can all do. Even those who have taken Kriya and have not practiced ever after the first day, or those who have continuing to practice, can still derive some benefit from Hamsa because it is very simple. You can sit down under it. You may be a Shiva worshipper, or a Devi worshipper, or a Narayana worshipper, or you may believe in Nirakar, Nirgun, or whatever. It doesn't matter. You can still practice Hamsa. And it's very, very simple. Why I am saying very, very simple? Lest you say, oh, this is too complicated, I cannot do it. If you don't want to do it, it's okay. Just keep it in mind. Day will come when you will decide, okay, I'll do it. Now, before doing any practice, we always ask people to chant the Guru Mantra, which we all know. It's Om Hrim Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. That's all. Even it's there on internet nowadays. Om Hrim Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. That's all. After doing that, sit down quietly. Don't do anything now, please. God's sake. Just open your ears and eyes and see and hear. Don't close your eyes. Close your eyes. And when you inhale, give complete attention to your inhalation. We never give attention to our inhalation. You may be inhaling, but you're thinking of something else. You can actually feel your inhalation, right? When you inhale. Don't tell me I don't feel my inhalation. Then you're dead. When you inhale, need not be Ujjayi or this or that. Just inhale. It doesn't matter what. Inhale. Softly or hard, but inhale. While you inhale, give total attention to your inhalation. Follow the inhalation. Hold only for a second. Then exhale. Give complete attention to your exhalation. Inhale and exhale. When you inhale, in your mind, think that you are chanting the sound, or the inhalation is the sound of hum. Actually, if you twist your imagination a little, then it sounds like hum. Hold. Sa. Now, if you really want it to sound like sa, you can also breathe out with your mouth. Hum. So, give complete attention and do this for at least 5 to 6 minutes and then get up. Don't think I'm going to do for more time. Why I'm saying this? In the first attempt, if you say I will do for half an hour, you will give up. Do for 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Next day, your mind will tell you, do it. Then do it. Then the mind will then enjoy it and the time will become longer without your attempt. If you attempt, it may break off. So, we are going to do this for 5 minutes or 6 minutes. Now, lest you go home and say we had a lot of talk, but there was nothing given to us. Sit down. Chant your Guru Mantra in your mind, or you chant with me. Close your eyes. Now you can close your eyes. Here the thing is, if you say close your eyes, they'll open eyes. So open your eyes, they'll close. Close your eyes and chant with me. Om Hrim Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Okay, enough. Now, start breathing in. Hum, saw. I'm not going to interfere. When I think it's enough, I will clap so you can open your eyes. Chant the Guru Mantra once. Bow down. Om Hrim Shri Guru Brahma.